Hi everyone, Melissa here. Today I'm going to be doing some fun New Year's nails. I know I never did an official Christmas set on myself, but I just wasn't feeling it. So we're going straight to the dark colors, to the New Year theme. And I'm gonna do a fun antique clock kind of nail. So I'm excited to get into this. You're gonna see a little bit of purple under this nails because I dyed my hair. It's not purple, it's just like a dark brown, but don't be alarmed, that's just hair dye, okay? So I did some of the double dip builder gel, extended a couple nails that I've broken, and then strengthened the other ones with it. I just got it in last week, tried it for the first time. I did a live in the double dipped group. If you're not there, go there and you can check it out. I'll probably end up doing a video using the builder gel showing how it's used as well, but for now, if you want to go there and check it out, you can. Anyway, let's get into this design. So to start off, I'm going to go ahead and do some dips into the solid colors I'm going to be using. I'm using double dip black pearl today, which is a very, very, very highly pigmented black. It does stain, but it is a perfect solid one coat coverage, and that's what I'm going for today. That's what I need. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my nails dipped out here, and then we'll get on with the rest. Okay, as you can see, yes, there is some black staining on my fingers. At the end of this, I will show you how I remove staining. Usually don't have any problem with it if it does happen. I did not dip my nail that I'm doing the design on yet, because it's the primary reason why I wanted a one coat black. I'm gonna be doing the one coat black, and I need to do it where I can work with it first. So I'm gonna go ahead and dip the glitter, and then I will do the one coat, and then we'll get into the clock design. One dip of black pearl on this nail. Okay, so I'm going to take this tiny end of my little pointer, my dotting tool, and I'm just gonna kind of trace out, and this doesn't have to be perfect. Again, I'm just kind of tracing out what would be part of a clock face, kind of off center on the nail. It's just the dotting tool is just digging in lightly to the dip so that you can see the shape, and we're just kind of making a part of a circle. See, the center would be about right here if we were to imagine it, so that's perfect, or at least pretty good. It doesn't have to be perfect. This little circle you're making here is just a marker for you. So if you need to adjust it, you can. No one's gonna see this part. If you want to use like there are different stickers that you can use that are little circles that you could stick on there, and then just trace around it, and that'll give you that shape if that's easier for you. Now I'm going to get my colors that I want to ombre with. So I'm gonna grab some Bubbles and Fizz and some Bling in the New Year, which is what I have here. Bubbles and Fizz is just a lighter, brighter gold, silver, hollow mix. Both of these colors are unfortunately retired. I know, I hate when I use retired colors, but it just happens so much. Okay, so I'm just going to take the base brush and draw around that circle that we drew. Go kind of around it all the way, and then down to cover the nail. Make sure it's a nice layer that will not dry too quickly. Now we're gonna grab our ombre brush, get some of the glitter, and start just tapping a downward motion so that the ombre comes from where the circle starts, or the circle ends. I don't know. I'm doing a little bit of this color, but it's more muted with an ombre because it does have black glitter in it also. So I'm grabbing a little bit of this and it's just gonna add a touch of brightness. And then I'm going to paint another layer of base on here. And then activate that. Once that's dry, I'm gonna very lightly just kind of buff this area where the circle is gonna be, just because I like to have a more matte surface to do artwork on. All right, now I'm gonna come in here. I've got just some acrylic paint, Artist Loft. This is like level 2. It's a little bit higher level acrylic paint, and it works really well for this kind of stuff in my opinion. And I have just this little container. I'm gonna put some in so that I can work with it. Don't need a lot. That's way more than I need, but it's okay. I have my trusty little detail brush here, and I'm covered in stuff, just stuff. You know how you become a mess when you do lots of like crafts? That's my life. Okay, so we're just going to trace out the shape of that circle that we traced out before with this white paint. You're going to trace it out, fill it in. You're gonna need to let it dry and come back and go over it a couple times to make it opaque. Make sure that you're following cleanly along the cuticle line with it. Okay, once you're happy with how white that clock face is, we're gonna do a layer of base and a dip of clear over the top. It doesn't have to be absolutely perfect, opaque, smooth white, because when I was doing this, when I was doing my test swatch, I decided I didn't want this stark white clock face staring at me, so I decided I wanted to kind of antique it out a little bit. So I'm going to be doing that, and the little lumps and bumps kind of lend really well to that antique clock look, so it's really okay to have some lumps and not quite fully covered spots. So I'm just going to cover the entire nail with base here. Go ahead and activate it, and then we're going to file the nail. I have these 2 alcohol ink markers. I'm trying to make kind of an antiqued look, so I've got kind of a burnt orange and a burnt brown. We're gonna mix those together and try and kind of make a goldish, antique-y face for the clock. So I'm just going to, I have my alcohol over here. So I have, no, not that one. I've got just a little nail art brush, just a small brush. And I'm going to put just little dots of both colors here in the clock face. I'm going to dip my brush in the alcohol and bring it here and kind of mix this all together. I'm gonna dab at it a little bit so that it's not so streaky. It just kind of leaves a bit of like a stain on there. It kind of colors it. I'm gonna do a little bit more of the brown. I think I was a little too orange heavy in the beginning, so a little more of the brown. Do this again. Don't want the clock face to look like yellow. I want more of a gold. Okay, now we are going to use our trusty little micron pens for some detail work. Everybody's favorite part. Okay, I've got a 0.25 millimeter microline pen. This is my favorite for detail. We're gonna find what would be considered the center of the clock. So say probably about there. So over on this side, gosh, this isn't gonna be easy. Okay, that would be, so we have 3, a 6, a 9, and then 12 at the top. We're gonna do Roman numerals, so try. I'm just going to do a little. Okay, there's a 3. Now we're gonna do, somehow, gonna turn my finger in a direction it's not supposed to go. Here. This. So straight up, we're going to do got our main numbers drawn out. Now we can, I'm gonna do a little circle around the border here. Gonna do some lines for the other times, so and then in between that, we're just gonna do some little dots to show the minutes. It's not gonna be able to fit 4 in between each one like you are supposed to, but that's okay. Gives the idea and just the impression of that extra detail, which is nice. All right, one last thing I'm going to do is just a smaller circle on the inside, kind of like towards the center-ish, hopefully straight. And before I do that, actually, I'm gonna do a layer of gel base and let that cure, and then wipe off the tacky layer, and then buff, and then I will go in, because this is just how I want it, all of those, and I don't want to mess that up or risk messing up that circle and having to buff it off and redo anything. I'm doing a layer of gel base because I know that gel base does not smear the micron pens. Deanne, if you watch this, I know you're one that always has issues with smearing. This is one way to prevent that. If you just do a layer of gel base and cure it before you go back in with your dip layers, it's kind of like using a streak-free top. You could, if you have a streak-free top coat, you can use that. You do the streak-free top coat over your artwork, and then you can go back in with gel base and, dip base and everything else. Yeah, circles are the hardest thing to draw. For real. Okay, so I'm going to just kind of like thicken this circle out a little bit to make it look smoother, because right now it looks pretty rough. Okay, last part of this is going to be drawing the clock hands. So we're going to draw the hour hand so that it is going up towards the 12th, but not quite there yet because we haven't hit midnight yet. Just a little clock hand, a little and then our minute hand is going to be probably around the 50 mark, so we're like 10 till. Okay, I'm gonna leave it at that before I overwork this and destroy it. Next thing I want to do is I'm going to, yes, I'm being a little bit extra with this nail, but 2020 has been pretty extra and I'm ready to put it out with the bang, so, but this isn't too much. I'm gonna do some of this champagne gold foil. I'm going to use some of my homemade foil glue. Some of my homemade foil glue is just half and half tack it, craft adhesive, and water. And I'm going to put it in here. And then get my little dotting tool, and I'm just going to add little dots and kind of add to the ombre using dots, kind of like a scattered ombre effect with the dots also, the glue dots. If you have like a glitter that has these chunky pieces in it, it'll probably give just about the same effect. If it has those just slightly chunky glitter pieces in it, larger. Actually, while we're waiting for that to dry, I'm going to do a little bit of an ombre here. And once all those dots have gotten completely invisible, then we know that it is ready for our transfer, foil transfer. So we're going to place the foil transfer so that the blank side is down onto the nail, and then you're going to get something that you can use to rub the foil on. I'm just going to use the back end of my cuticle pusher and just firmly rub the foil onto the entire area where I applied the transfer glue. Once you feel confident you've gotten all those spots, pull off. Here, I got some cute little dotty dots. I'm going to do one more thing with this glue. I'm going to do a little circle around the frame, basically, of the clock with the glue. Okay, then we can just go in one more time, fix up any detail work that needs to be done, and then we will close her up. Alright, I'm going to again encase this in the gel base before I do another dip of clear. Okay, I'm going to dip clear here and clear here so that we can file everything once we've activated it all. I almost feel like that ombre is like, the addition of that is a little bit too much for me, but it's New Year's nail, so I'm just gonna stick with it and try not to overthink it. You let me know if you think it's too much. Okay, gonna activate and file everything now, and then we will top coat. Okay, now this is dry. I'm going to show you just real quick how I like to remove staining. I like to use alcohol swabs or alcohol pads, and you can just really get into the cuticle area with them. It'll usually wipe off most of the staining. Anything that gets stuck in your actual cuticle, you can either really get in there with the alcohol pad, or sometimes I will get in there with the scraping end of my cuticle pusher and scrape any pigment away that really got stuck in like any parts of the cuticle. And it's not too hard to get off if you get some. Anyway, I'm gonna clean up the rest of this off camera. But here's my finished New Year's set. I actually got a little bit of a hair in the top coat here, if you can see, so I'm going to be redoing that one. But other than that, this is it. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm actually going to be doing another kind of New Year's inspired set next week. Not so much design, so hopefully you'll tune in for that one also. But if you have any questions, as always, feel free to leave them in the comments below, and I will see you next time. Thank you.